Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we will study HPLC chromatographic technique. HPLC full form is high pressure liquid chromatography. This is a type of liquid chromatography and this is used basically to separate different components. It is used to separate different components and also measure the different components that needs to be separated out from a mixture, and mostly this mixture is a biological component, and the most common biological component from which different components are separated is for example the most common is blood. So if we need to find out different components from a biological mixture. So if we need to separate out different components from a biological mixture such as blood, which is a very common example, so that's why I've taken the example of blood. And as you know that blood has different proteins present in it. So if we have to separate the different proteins from a biological mixture such as blood, then what we can use is we can use HPLC, and HPLC will easily separate out the different proteins from this blood. So HPLC has an advantage over the other chromatographic techniques such as gas chromatography or TLC and your column chromatography, because it is mostly used to separate out the biological components, and all these chromatographic techniques are not as much useful when it comes to to separate different biological components. So that's why we use HPLC chromatographic technique here. Now we will study the different components and the working of the HPLC. As I have told you the brief introduction of HPLC, now we will discuss the principle of HPLC, on what basis the separation of different components takes place. We will study that. The principle of HPLC is that separation on the basis of relative affinities or polarity of mobile phase and stationary phase means the separation will be carried solely on the basis of polarity of mobile phase and stationary phase. The polarity, what is polarity? Polarity is basically love for water or attraction towards water. So we will discuss it later how it is done on the basis of polarity. You just remember this part, that the separation is solely done on the basis of polarity. You just remember this point for a while now. And the mobile phase is basically a liquid, which is obviously true because it is a liquid chromatographic technique. So the mobile phase is obviously liquid, and stationary phase is a solid adsorbent material. So in stationary phase and mobile phase, we are talking about the state of the material which is used. So a solid state of a material is used. The material can be silica. Mostly silica beads are used. So we are just talking about the state of the stationary phase or mobile phase. And the mobile phase is mostly liquid. Liquid can be water or any organic solvent. Now we will study the HPLC instrumentation and how the HPLC technique is carried out to separate different biological components. So the first component of this instrumentation of HPLC is the HPLC solvent. In HPLC solvent, a mobile phase is taken. Mobile phase is also known as a carrier because the mobile phase or the solvent carries the sample along with it towards the HPLC column where stationary phase is present. And stationary phase is mostly solid in state, I have told you earlier. And the stationary phase basically is adsorbed. Adsorbed means it sticks to the surface of the HPLC column. So the stationary phase just sticks to the surface of the HPLC column, and this stationary phase is basically, for example, mostly silica beads are taken, So you can also say that silica beads just sticks to the surface of HPLC column and acts as a stationary phase here. So the in the first component where HPLC solvent or the mobile phase is present, it is taken into the HPLC pump, and here HPLC pump just pumps out the HPLC solvent from it and injects it to the injector, and in the injector a sample is given out. So a sample is inserted in the injector. The sample can be, for example, we take blood, so we have to separate different components such as proteins from the blood. So we take blood as the sample, and we just put out the blood in the injector, and the injector also carries the HPLC solvent or mobile phase. So the mobile phase, the liquid, we take the mobile phase, for example we take water here. So water is already present here, and when we put out the sample or the blood here, so the blood gets mixed with the mobile phase or water, and from here the injector just injects the mobile phase towards the HPLC column. Now let's see the HPLC column's magnified view here. So this is just the magnified view of the same HPLC column. Here silica beads are present. Silica beads are adsorbed or stick to the surface of this HPLC column. This is the stationary phase. And when the mobile phase from the injector enters this HPLC column, it goes through this stationary phase. And when it goes through the stationary phase, I have told you earlier that the principle of separation in HPLC is polarity. The sole basis is polarity, or the love for or attraction towards water. So in HPLC, we have a choice that we can take the stationary phase as polar or non-polar. If it is based on polarity, then obviously we have only two choices, that we can take the stationary phase as polar or we can take it as non-polar. And also the mobile phase can be taken as only polar or non-polar. So on this basis, HPLC is of two types. First is a normal HPLC, which is called as HPLC only, and the second type is reverse phase HPLC. In reverse phase HPLC, non-polar stationary phase is taken and polar mobile phase is taken. But in simple HPLC, non-polar mobile phase is taken and polar stationary phase is taken. So in HPLC, the mobile phase is non-polar and the stationary phase is polar. Means silica is a polar substance. So silica beads are taken here, which are adsorbed on the HPLC column, and mobile phase is carried out through it. So the mobile phase which reaches the HPLC column not only contains the solvent, but it also contains the sample. I have told you earlier, the sample is injected into the injector, and from there the mobile phase gets mixed up with the sample. So if we take a sample, the sample contains polar components plus non-polar components. Okay, the sample is made up of any sample, any biological component. It contains polar plus non-polar components. Now the sample gets mixed with the solvent, which is non-polar. So now the non-polar solvent carries the both polar and non-polar components of the sample. Now when the mobile phase, which obviously contains the sample with it, Now when it passes through the stationary phase, the polar components of the sample which are present in the mobile phase gets attracted to the polar stationary phase, because polar simply the attraction is built between the polar components. And now because of this attraction, the polar components, the polar part of the mobile phase, because of the sample, it gets attached to the polar stationary phase. Let's assume that the polar phase is of blue color, the components are of blue color, so that gets attached to the stationary phase. And let's assume that the non-polar part is of red color. Let's assume that it is of red color. Now the non-polar part which is present in the non-polar mobile phase, this non-polar part of the sample gets passed easily because it doesn't get attracted to the polar stationary phase, and it gets passed through the HPLC column, means it gets elute out. It gets elute out easily. Elute out means that it easily gets passed through the HPLC column. It gets passed and leaves the HPLC column from here. Now when it leaves the HPLC column, as I have already mentioned in the instrumentation part, that from HPLC column it reaches to the detector. Now the first component that reaches the detector from HPLC column is the non-polar part. Now when the non-polar part reaches the detector detects the signal and plots a graph. And a graph of this type is formed. A peak of this type is formed. I have shown the peak in red color because we have taken the non-polar we have assumed that the non-polar component is of red color, so I have made that of red color. Now we have to also elute out the polar component. Now how we can do that is, we can do that by using concentration gradient property. Now as we know that the polar component of the sample has made bonds with the polar stationary phase. Now we have to break these bonds. Now how we can do that is, the solvent is already non-polar. Now we have to make this more polar in order to break the bonds. Now how we can make this more polar? We can add water to it. Water is a polar solvent. So if we add more water to this solvent, then it becomes more polar. So when this solvent, which is the mobile phase, is carried out through this HPLC column, then it breaks down the bond between the these two polar components. And as it breaks down the bonds between them, now the polar component of the sample is it easily get elute out of the sample. And as I have shown the polar component of blue color, now a graph like this is formed. So I have shown that graph by blue color because we have assumed that the polar components are of blue color. So there is no confusion here, I hope. After the detector, there are these collecting tubes where the first non-polar component which gets elute out is collected in the first collecting tube, and then the polar component which gets elute afterwards, it gets collected in the another collecting tube. So this is how we can separate these samples, and this graph is made to find the quantity of each of these components, means how much of this quantity of these components are present in the sample. So how we can find out that is, the detector plots the graph on the basis of absorption with respect to time. So time is taken on the x-axis and absorption is taken on the y-axis. Now when we find the area of this graph, we can easily find out the concentration of this non-polar solvent, of this non-polar component. And the next, when we take the area of this, we can easily find out the concentration of this polar component of the sample. So in this way we can find out the concentration or quantity of these two components present in the sample which we have separate out. So in this way HPLC works, and in this way we can easily separate out the components from a biological mixture. So the next type of HPLC is, I have said that this is the simple HPLC. And the second type of HPLC is reverse phase HPLC. In reverse phase HPLC, same procedure is done. But in reverse phase HPLC, the stationary phase is not polar. It is non-polar. It is opposite of the normal HPLC, and commonly reverse phase HPLC is only used in industries and most of the scientific universities and labs. And the mobile phase here is polar. So a polar solvent such as water is mostly used here, and stationary phase is non-polar. So mostly a silica bead is used, but silica beads are polar in nature. So silica is made into non-polar. How silica is made non-polar? It is made non-polar by adding alkyl chains to it. Alkyl chains to it. And alkyl chains of carbon C18 are used. So alkyl chains of carbon C18 are attached to the silica, and now this becomes a non-polar stationary phase. So now a silica C18 is used as a stationary phase, and a polar solvent such as water is easily used here, and the same procedure is carried out in reverse phase HPLC. So I hope you have understand all the basic components of HPLC and reverse phase HPLC. And if you have any doubts, you can ask all of them in the comment section.